Lou Dobbs on compromised Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Deep State must have enormous file on him. By Jeff Holt for the GatewayPundit.com. Fox Business Network host Lou Dobbs joined the chorus of pundits who suspect Attorney General Jeff Sessions has been compromised by the deep state. Former Senator Jeff Sessions has been compromised since his swearing in as Attorney General. He immediately recused himself from the Russia collusion witch hunt that was set up by the deep state operatives to cover their criminal actions on Uranium One and the Hillary Clinton email scandal. Now, instead of justice being served, the country is being hijacked by unelected deep state criminals. At the Gateway Pundit, as the Gateway Pundit reported in October, who did Attorney General Jeff Sessions get caught sleeping with? Even President Trump has attacked the Attorney General for his dereliction of duty. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump campaign, quietly working to boost Clinton. So where is the investigation Attorney General at Sean Hannity? Tonight, Lou Dobbs was the latest pundit to suggest Attorney General Jeff Sessions has been compromised. Lou Dobbs, I have great respect for Jeff Sessions. He's been an important voice in the U.S. Senate. His disappearance makes me think either they have an enormous file on him in the deep state that is prohibiting him from serving the president he signed up to serve. Let's take a listen.
So Jeff Sessions actually does his job. I have great respect. I've always had great respect for Jeff Sessions. He's been an important voice in the U.S. Senate. His disappearance makes me think either they have an enormous file on him in the deep state that is prohibiting him from serving the president he signed up to serve, and the nation he signed up to. He has to see how deep the crisis is and how profound the moment is for him to get to work and really assure that justice is done here. I've never seen anything as corrupt, politically corrupt, as one special counsel, that of Robert Mueller. Person after person with conflicts of interest, and Jeff Sessions throws his hands in the air and recuses himself over Russian coalition. Every piece of evidence found to this point by the FBI, all of the committees, has shown collusion, all right, but it's collusion between the Democrats and the Russians, not Republicans.
I have sat with Attorney General Sessions in person. I've talked to him on the phone, and my own personal opinion, I don't think the Attorney General is up to the job. I just don't. It's sad because I think he has a storied history. He's done a lot for this country. But the moment he got there, he had to recuse himself. He's nowhere to be found on pushing this, and I do think you're going to see Congress, particularly over the next couple of weeks, including next week, really ratchet it up because I don't think that they're actually living up to their job and administering justice. I'm not saying it has to go the Republicans' way. I just don't see them moving forward on any of these fronts.
Go the Republicans' way? I mean, we elected a Republican president. We've got Republican leadership in both houses. Why in the world aren't the leaders of the Senate and the House standing shoulder to shoulder with President Trump? Because they could bring this thing to a conclusion.
I don't know, Lou, and I think you're on top of it, and I think you're expressing a lot of concern that most Americans that are looking at this are seeing from coast to coast. They just want balls and strikes called. They just want an honest opinion. You've got over 100,000 employees, 10,000 attorneys, but somehow Mueller's team is chock full with donors to the Democratic Party. I mean, I just don't understand that. And it continues. And there are a lot of good, hardworking, patriotic people there at the FBI, at the DOJ. But do you really have to have this clown car with people whose wife works for the firm that's being investigated? I mean, seriously, you write that in a book, put it in a movie, most people wouldn't believe it.
Absolutely. But did you notice when Lou Dobbs pressed him, he was like right around here. He was kind of taken aback Shavitz was
the
kind
next couple of weeks, including next week, really ratchet it up because they don't think that they're actually living up to their job and administering justice. I'm not saying it has to go to Republicans' way. I just don't see them moving forward on any of these
go
fronts.
the Republicans' way?
right here.
I mean, we elected a Republican president. We've got
Balls and
Republican
strikes.
leadership in both houses. Why in the world aren't the leaders of the Senate and the House standing shoulder to shoulder with President Trump? Because they could bring this thing to a conclusion.
You see?
I don't know, Lou, and I think you're on
Right
top of
there.
it, and I think you're expressing a lot of concern that most Americans that are...
You see, he was taken aback a little bit, and he's saying, yeah, they could bring it to a conclusion, and he's like sort of flustered there. But Shavitz does want to get to the bottom of this, that's for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.